Hi everyone, and welcome back to Backstage, where I talk about how viral businesses started and how they became popular. So for today's episode, we are going to be talking about Alo Yoga, one of the most viral and aesthetic companies in the market today. Whether you've seen it in your favorite creators, OOTD, or someone on a hot girl walk on TikTok, or even in Kendall Jenner's most recent Instagram post, Alo Yoga has gone from a niche yoga wear company to a full-blown lifestyle. But how did it all begin, and how did they become so popular so fast? So Aloe was founded in 2007 in LA by Danny Harris and Marco DeGeorge, who were two childhood friends, and they turned into entrepreneurs. What's interesting is that actually neither one of them have any backgrounds in wellness or yoga. Their roots are actually in fashion and textiles, specifically in manufacturing and distribution. They owned a clothing production company before launching Aloe, which meant that they kind of already understood the back end and the background of how the fashion industry works. So they understood how supply chains worked, margins, timelines, and how to exactly scale their product. But in the early 2000s, they noticed something shifting. Yoga wasn't just your regular exercise class anymore. It was turning into more of a lifestyle movement. Health and mindfulness were entering the mainstream media space, and it was becoming super popular everywhere. But the clothes that people were wearing were very basic, boring, and they looked really athletic. You either had technical gear like Nike or Lululemon, or on the other side, you had basic cotton leggings from big box stores. So Harris and DeGeorge saw an opportunity to create yoga wear that was functional enough so you could perform well in your workout classes, but you could also just casually wear it if you're going shopping or going out to brunch with your friends. And that's how Alo Yoga was born. The name actually stands for air, land, and ocean, which symbolizes the brand connection to nature and mindfulness. But their mission went beyond from just selling leggings. From the beginning, their goal was to bring yoga to the world through more than just clothing. They wanted to create a lifestyle brand that was rooted in mindfulness, sustainability, and style. They wanted to create a community. So in the early days, Alo was very small, and their main focus wasn't on influencers. It was more a focus on real yoga instructors. So they built deep relationships with yoga communities in LA. They would give gifts to teachers, and they would sponsor yoga events. And their products slowly got into yoga studios across California, and slowly through word of the mouth, Alo started becoming the in-the-know brand for people who are really passionate about yoga. And their design was what really set them apart. Alo leggings weren't just stretchy, they were sculpting, flattering, and they were made from performance fabric with really sleek stitching. The color palette was earthy and calming, not loud and neon like many other brands at that time. So I like to shop at Lululemon, and I recently bought an item from Alo, and one of the key differences that I noticed between the two brands was the color palette. Lululemon has lots of colors, and many of them are super bright, but on the other side, Alo has more neutral colors, and they have a darker, and they're not as flashy kind of undertone. And this helped create a very clear identity for Alo, which is a brand really mindful and fashion forward. Then around 2015, the wellness space really began to explode. Green smoothies, matcha lattes, journaling, self-care, all of it was becoming very popular and very marketable. And that's where Alo really hit its stride. They had already spent years laying the fashion industry foundation and aligning themselves with the yoga culture. So when wellness and healthy eating and clean habits began to go viral, Alo was completely ready for all of it. As social media evolved, so did Alo's influence. On Instagram, their content really stood out. It wasn't just a product catalog, it was a curated lifestyle. They wanted to show minimalistic interiors, golden hour yoga shots, intentional wellness routines. It all felt aspirational but still accessible. And over time, Alo became the uniform of the wellness girl, someone who drinks matcha, journals at sunrise, does hot yoga, and wears soft, neutral clothing while doing all of it. And that helped celebrities and influencers start wearing the brand. And they were actually unpaid while they were wearing Alo clothes. Kendall Jenner and Hailey Bieber, who are known to be the kind of it girls and they give off a very clean girl aesthetic, they were seen in Alo leggings just casually walking around LA. Gigi Hadid was even wearing an Alo set on her way to a Pilates class. The brand looked high-end, minimalistic, and cool, but also achievable, meaning regular people like us could also wear the brand. And that balance was really key when Alo was expanding. So fast forward to the rise of TikTok, Alo's aesthetic became the blueprint for the clean girl look. Think slick back buns, minimal makeup, soft crew necks, iced matcha lattes. Alo's soft fabric hoodies and matching sets became popular all over TikTok. The brand didn't have to shout to get noticed. It fit organically into the daily routines of so many people while they were filming and sharing Alo. So Alo didn't have to spend tons of money for marketing because TikTok was essentially doing the marketing for them. And in 2015, Aloe actually launched a men's line of clothing. And you would think that the profits that they were getting from their men's clothing would be a large amount of it, but actually, no, women's clothing were a majority of Aloe's revenue, and it's still continuing to be a large percentage of it. And now Aloe is currently worth around $1 billion, and most of that is from the brand's, and most of the brand's revenue is generated from their e-commerce sales, subscriptions to their Aloe Moves fitness program, and sales from their expanding number of retail locations. More specifically, from 2020 to 2022, the brand rose from $200 million to $1 billion, and it now makes it Lululemon's biggest competitor. What makes Aloe's rise really interesting is that they didn't rely on viral gimmicks. There was no big celebrity campaign or an It Girl collab that really launched them. Instead, they focused on long-term consistency with sleek design, storytelling, ethical manufacturing, and a connection with the community. Their presence in both yoga studios and social media created a dual identity for them, so they were trusted by professionals, and influencers wanted to partner with them and wear Aloe clothes. By 2020, Aloe wasn't just your regular yoga brands anymore. It was a wellness empire with activewear at its foundation. Their global recognition wasn't luck. It was built slowly, intentionally, and backed up by a deep understanding of both culture, the community, and commerce. So now let's break down the actual business strategies that Aloe used to turn into this massive company, because it wasn't just random luck, it was smart execution. So one of Aloe's most powerful business decisions was choosing a vertically integrated model, which means that they control everything from the design to the production to the distribution. So by doing this, Aloe ensured quality control, faster production timelines, and higher profit margins. They didn't rely on any third parties to assist them. Because the help of third parties would limit their creative and operational freedom, which is crucial for a fast-moving brand that wants to stay relevant. Before many brands were taking Instagram seriously, Aloe had already turned their page into their very own vision board. It wasn't just about selling their products, they wanted to sell a lifestyle. Their feeds were carefully curated with soft tones, glowing skin, clean interiors, yoga flows, and morning routines. They weren't just showing clothes, they were showing the lifestyle people could have if they would buy Aloe clothing and wear them. Aloe also didn't just randomly choose to work with celebrities. They built a community of creators who genuinely loved the brand. Fitness instructor, people who were really interested in yoga, wellness TikTokers, lifestyle YouTubers, they all wore Aloe not just for promo, but because the brand aligned with their message. And this created authentic advocacy, which is way more powerful than just a random one-time ad that you would probably scroll past on TikTok. Aloe also took their brand offline in a very intentional way. Their retail stores aren't just stores, they're kind of an experience. So many stores, like the stores in Soho and in West Hollywood, have yoga studios, juice bars, meditation domes, and even saunas in them. Like so many other people have probably seen on TikTok, even myself included, I've seen Jake Shane, Brooke Schofield, Glenn Powell. They're always posting about going to Aloe Studios and taking a Pilates class there. And that's how I was actually first introduced to Aloe, was because I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw these videos, and that made me interested in the brand. And that's how I actually bought my first item from Aloe, was because of seeing all of these influencers posting TikToks and going to the gym, or going to the Aloe gym and making TikToks there. So during the pandemic, another really important business move that Aloe made was launching Aloe Moves, which was a digital platform that offered yoga, Pilates, strength training, and breathwork classes. So for a monthly subscription, users could work out at home, and they were often wearing Aloe while doing it. And this created a new revenue stream for Aloe because it built loyal customer authenticity through engagement, and it created more of a community for Aloe, not just buyers who would wear the product and be done with this. Aloe also carefully expanded beyond apparel. They have skincare now, accessories, they have booths and events at Coachella and New York Fashion Week, so they know how to stay visible in trend-setting spaces. Every expansion feels aligned with their brand, which is clean, calm, and elevated. And Aloe didn't just randomly choose to drop stores everywhere. They expanded very slowly, and they chose high-end locations to launch their stores in, with cities with strong wellness and fashion culture. So think of cities like New York, London, Dubai, Sydney. Fashion is very, very important in these places, and that's why Aloe chose to launch them in these places, to expand their brand even more while still maintain that exclusivity. Even though Aloe is not completely perfect, they do brand themselves around ethical manufacturing, solar-powered headquarters, and eco-conscious values, which resonates deeply with people who support these values, and they're more inclined to buy from Aloe because they want to buy from companies who support their similar values. So there you have it. Aloe Yoga isn't just your normal pair of leggings. It's a case study of modern branding, influencer culture, and strategic business moves. From humble LA roots to becoming a global lifestyle icon, Aloe shows that with the right mix of aesthetics, community, and execution, you can turn any product into a very large movement. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brand Backstage, and if you love this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know what brand you want me to cover next.